Move more together for you, your team, and a good cause. Join the Movivo Move Days, the ultimate health challenge during Lent, and win exclusive prizes. Collect points for 45 days in the Movivo app, together with your colleagues or in your own personal way. Whether it's through your favorite sports, breathing exercises, giving up sugar, or ice bathing, every point counts. Are you ready?
A very warm welcome to today's Tuesday session as part of the Move Days 2026. We are already right in the middle of our special anniversary edition. Many thousands of points have already been collected by all of you.
That's excellent. Keep up the fantastic work. We'll really put in the effort together, and together we will accomplish so much more.
Today, our special guest is Verena Jura. Many of you already know her as an expert in brain fitness. Perhaps you're even in the middle of her routine creating new coordination patterns. She always guides us through really fantastic exercises in our routine. However, today she is with us in a completely different role. She has further developed herself and is now also a certified breath fitness trainer.
Dear Verena, it's wonderful to have you here. Please come join us on stage. The stage is yours. We are so excited to share this moment with you.
Yes, thank you very much for letting me be here again and for letting me try something new. It's also a form of brain training to do new things and to learn new things.
Let's get going.
All right, so let's kick off this Tuesday with a breathing fitness session, or rather with a little more knowledge about our breath. The title, are you still catching your breath or are you already breathing? I chose it deliberately. We tend to take our breath, our breathing, for granted, assuming it's just there and that we don't need to concern ourselves with it. Only when it no longer functions properly do we begin to confront it and perhaps take action to return to a normal breathing pattern. The breath, when we look at our breathing, we always examine three distinct levels. First, there's biochemistry. So what exactly is happening on the biochemical level, in the brain, in the blood, and throughout the body? On the one hand, we have the CO2 levels, the carbon dioxide levels that are in our blood and that we breathe out. We exhale CO2, and we have the oxygen that we inhale. And this balance, the body is always searching for homeostasis, for equilibrium. This is what the body strives to have all the time. That's why breathing is triggered and we inhale and exhale. And third, the pH level, which we can also affect with our breathing. We can become either more alkaline or more acidic, so we can actually regulate or modulate the acid-base balance with it. Why are these CO2 and O2 levels also important? If we look at it, CO2 is extremely important in the body. It always sounds like an exhaust gas, and we also breathe it out, but we absolutely need it in our bodies, especially in our blood, to simply transport the oxygen that we take in and actually deliver it to the cells, where it then provides the energy. If we have too little CO2 and always just breathe rapidly and exhale an excessive amount of CO2, then this CO2 is simply not available to us, and the oxygen doesn't reach its intended destination at all. This means we get tired more quickly and lose our concentration. Then the next point, after biochemistry, we'll also look at biomechanics. That means, how do we breathe? Do I breathe through my nose? Do I breathe through my mouth? Do I use all my accessory breathing muscles? Do I breathe shallowly and high in my chest? Or do I breathe into my belly? When you are at rest, it is certainly abdominal breathing that should be recommended. It keeps us calm and steady. If we always just breathe shallowly, only using the upper chest, then simply not enough oxygen reaches our body. We also need to fully utilize the entire diaphragm, this muscular plate that creates a suction effect and then truly brings the oxygen we inhale all the way down into the lungs, so that the vital gas exchange can properly take place there. Gas exchange, O2, meaning taking in oxygen and releasing CO2. Exactly. That is biomechanics. Through biomechanics, by breathing deeply, we also massage the organs. The heart's work is supported. The breathing muscles, the lungs can stretch. So there's a lot to consider. Then, as a third part, we also have the mental level. How does breathing affect our inner state? We can actually influence our inner state very quickly through breathing, and that's simply noticeable in your stress level. If I'm feeling very stressed and I do some breathing exercises, I can calm down very quickly. We will then also be testing that out. All right, but before we delve into these exercises, or before we actually begin to put this into practice, I'd like to ask you all to take a very brief moment to look inwards and just listen to yourselves on a scale of 1 to 10. Stress level 1, I'm completely relaxed. 10, I'm totally worked up and totally antsy and restless. To give an assessment, an inner assessment, just quickly check, where do I stand? All right, and let's make sure to remember this particular number. Then we'll move on to what I'd call our first almost diagnostic exercise. Who truly knows their own breath? Who actually knows it intimately? Who knows exactly how many breaths they take per minute per day? On average, we take about 20,000 breaths every single day. And I think that's a number, that really shouldn't be taken for granted. That's quite a substantial amount, and certainly reason enough to take a closer look at it and to put it into proper perspective. Counting breaths. Here's how we'll do it. Hey, Sieb. And inhale and exhale is 1 breath. We can count along on our fingers. I'll press the stopwatch for 30 seconds. We'll double the count we get after 30 seconds. Then we'll know how many breaths we took in 1 minute. So, either sitting or standing relaxed with your shoulders dropped away from your ears. You might want to close your eyes for this and then step into the role of an observer. Don't change anything about your breathing. Just simply let it be as it comes. Breathe in and out and then calm down exactly. And I'll press the timer when we all together take 1 more breath in, then breathe out. 3, 2, 1. Start counting with your very next inhalation. You can count along using your fingers. We're already at 10 seconds. It will take 20 seconds. 25, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Exactly. Now, take this number and multiply it by 2, and that gives us the breaths per minute. Between 9 and 16 breaths per minute is considered a completely normal rate. If you're already at 20 or even beyond that, then that's actually too much and would already be a clear indication of chronic stress on your nervous system. Then it might make sense to really think about it. Should I take a closer look at this? I'm talking here, of course, about a resting state, not when I'm truly under significant physical exertion. Then it pays off to pay attention to that and to also bring your breathing rate down. If we exhale too much CO2, we also become unfocused. And this oxygen, as I said, doesn't reach the cells and we lose our focus. We get exhausted, more quickly exhausted, and that's what we should aim to improve. A next exercise where we can also determine just how significant your body's CO2 tolerance truly is the so-called BOLT test, the body oxygen level test, which we conduct in the form of the Buteyko walk. Dr. Buteyko was a Russian physician who was known for being very strict and who truly was a pioneer, having done groundbreaking work concerning both the practice of breathing and its scientific exploration. This walk, which I will now guide you through, will show you exactly how well you tolerate CO2 in your blood, how good your tolerance truly is. The chemoreceptors in the brain always measure this level and then sound the alarm. That means it's not the lack of oxygen that makes you breathe that triggers the breathing reflex. It is the CO2 level that triggers the breathing reflex. And if you train this, raising your CO2 levels, you'll want to breathe in later. Ultimately, your breathing pattern will slow down and health benefits will also appear. We're doing this walk now. I'll count and give you the timing. Okay, here's how we're going to do this. We'll be relaxed, we'll breathe in and then slowly out. And after we've exhaled, we'll keep our mouth completely closed and also pinch our nose so that no more oxygen can get in. And during this entire time, we'll calmly and very relaxed walk through the room. And we're going to count the steps. And then after that, we'll discuss how many steps we've managed to complete. Okay? All right. I'll start the clock now. We'll all breathe in together.
And off and away we go.
It's already been 10 seconds. You all just keep going. I'll be calling out the time for you. It's almost 15 seconds now. Many of you are already in one.
In a strong desire for air.
As soon as you experience the first sensation of air hunger, continue breathing normally. Now it would already be 30 seconds. If we're still at 35, great. I'll stop now because we're seeing this through the camera and I don't see anyone personally. Many already have a problem at 5 seconds, at 5 steps, and at 10. A good target would be to achieve around 20 steps and then 20 seconds. And Buteyko states that we are only truly at a healthy level once we reach 40 seconds. That is quite a lot, but it's something you can also train. Breathing, learning to breathe correctly is also a matter of training. It's something that can be trained. A single practice session is not enough, just like with all other forms of movement. It's the same with breathing. You can train it, you really need to practice it. With the Buteyko walk, if you do this walk once or twice every single day of the week, you will typically be able to increase your level by 10 seconds per week. And your brain's tolerance is higher, so your breathing reflex will be triggered later. CO2 is important for our blood vessels. The CO2 dilates the blood vessels. It helps the blood to flow through better. It lowers blood pressure and it primarily increases blood flow in the brain. Therefore, a crucial benefit arises when our bodies can better tolerate carbon dioxide. It also pertains to your respiratory efficiency, which is assessed through this. How effectively and efficiently do you absorb the oxygen you breathe in? Precisely. All right, the next exercise. We've just taken a moment to assess our current status to see where we stand. The next exercise is a rather difficult one. However, I specifically selected it because it's quite an uncommon exercise and many of you might not have come across it yet. Specifically, it's reduced breathing. Reduced breathing also trains and regulates the CO2 level, calms us down, and acts upon the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxation nerve, meaning the part of the nervous system responsible for ensuring relaxation and tranquility. And underbreathing is the opposite of overbreathing. If we always breathe shallowly in our chest and breathe high up, then we overbreathe. We breathe more, we hyperventilate, and underbreathing is hypoxia, the hypoxia training, also altitude training. This way we can reap the benefits of altitude training. How does the whole thing work? We simply take a finger, hold it under our nose, and try to do it. To breathe as little as possible until a genuine air hunger truly develops. Pause. This deep need. Wow, I'm already feeling a bit strange now, and it's perfectly fine for it to be a little uncomfortable. For many people, it is quite inconvenient. Yes, it's simply uncomfortable, but that's the only way to move forward. Because when we expose ourselves to stress, we ultimately become more resilient against the stress of daily life and in many other work situations, time and again. So, place your finger beneath your nose and perhaps close your eyes as well and genuinely attempt to imagine that your finger is a delicate feather and this feather must not be disturbed or move at all. I can perceive the gentle current of air, but I am making a conscious effort to truly minimize this airflow to the absolute barest amount. This also influences blood oxygen saturation. If you train this for a longer time, you're training your blood oxygen saturation, which then drops. CO2 accumulates, pH levels fall. These are always opposing factors.
It's quite uncomfortable. You really have to focus your full attention on it. But if you consistently practice this, you'll also acquire a very useful method for your everyday life to help you gradually build up this CO2 tolerance. Exactly.
We've just been exposed to quite a bit of stress. Now let's try to ease ourselves into some relaxation. And for that purpose, I've chosen an exercise that can be wonderfully used in your daily routine.
I use it very often. I use it when driving. I use it before a difficult appointment, or when things get stressful in between. I take these few minutes and do this exercise. It's simply, yes, it's truly relaxing and immediately brings your inner state to peace. The exercise is called Bee Breath. Some might know it from yoga as Brahmari. And for that, I use vagus nerve stimulation. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve. It comes from the brainstem through the skull, through the head, down the neck, and branches into the organs, responsible for relaxation, the rest and digest mode. And we stimulate it by humming. Bee breathing is essentially a form of humming. This means we then place our hands on our throat. We breathe in and then we slowly hum the sound out. Exactly, that's just one single breath. You can do this multiple times consecutively, and you can already sense how these vibrations spread throughout your entire being. It's truly very pleasant. It stimulates your nervous system. It brings you down to a calmer state, and it's simply quite wonderful. It really works incredibly fast. To further enhance this and to intensify our inner perception, our interoception for this purpose, we'll close our ears with our thumbs, and with our index and middle fingers, we'll cover our eyes, and then we'll do this whole exercise one more time. Inhale. This makes everything even louder and more intense. It's pain relieving. When we hum, we're enjoying ourselves, we're content, we're familiar with it. We eat something good, we drink something good, something pleases us. That's when we hum, that's when we make this sound, and that's no coincidence. It truly has a calming and beneficial health effect. A wonderful exercise you can do in your daily life when you're stressed. Just withdraw briefly, hum a few times, and then you can carry on again. Yes, there's so much more to tell about breathing. There are so many other exercises that you can discover. Breathing is very individual. Not every exercise suits everyone, but you can find the right one for yourself. We cannot avoid stress. It's simply ubiquitous in our modern, fast-paced lives. But we can discover methods and strategies to manage it more effectively and to better regulate ourselves. Your breath is a truly wonderful tool for this purpose. And in that spirit, I wish you all a beautiful, relaxing day ahead.
Together for you, your team, and a good cause. Join the Movivo Move Days, the ultimate health challenge during Lent, and win exclusive prizes. Collect points for 45 days in the Movivo app, together with your colleagues or in your own personal way. Whether it's through your favorite sports, breathing exercises, giving up sugar or ice bathing, every point counts. Are you ready?